dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good Tuesday morning. It is 5:31. Thanks for tuning into Mountain News This Morning. If you look out your window, you might see something falling, but you're going to have to be in the far reaches of Eastern Kentucky to see it because the winter weather storm that we expected to see sped up a little bit, and we were just too warm yesterday for anything to happen. But there's still some hope for our weather team as, Brandon, the temperatures are going to drop today. The rain that we saw last night and the small amounts of snow that we're seeing this morning are going to freeze, which is creating a lot of the closings and delays you can see at the bottom of your screen.
Right, and we were concerned about this to begin with because we knew for 100% that the cold air was coming because we've seen the two cold fronts, this one coming through now and then another one that'll come through tonight that'll bring us our truly Arctic air. But again, anything that's wet, if you got a little bit of rain overnight, if you got a little bit of snow overnight, if you're getting a little snow right now, it is going to freeze like Will mentioned. So if you don't have to be out this morning, try to stay at home for a little while as crews try to get out there and get those roads treated. Let's get into the camera network this morning here at 532, and you can see McKee this morning, a little foggy. We're having some visibility issues across the region, some wet roads there, not much in the way of snow up toward I-64, not much up that way as well. Again, the moisture was riding right along the front instead of what we expected to be kind of along and behind the front, and we're going to see less moisture. And here is the winter weather advisory, though, that continues because of the simple fact we could still have some travel issues this morning region-wise for the entire area. And you see we're surrounded by wind chill advisories. I expect to see one of those pick up for our region here a little bit later on this morning. There's the snow, or what's left of it there in parts of Pike County and even to southwest Virginia and southern West Virginia. Temperatures continue to crash. 23 Moorhead, 21 Richmond, 27 in Somerset, still in the upper 30s there in Wise this morning, but that won't last too long. You factor in the wind chill, feels like 8 right now in Richmond, so a lot of cold air crashing in, some visibility issues. And as we head through the rest of the day, you're going to see a few flurries. Temperatures continue to fall, level out there in the mid-20s, and then get down to 14 tonight. So a cold night. Make sure you bundle up. Wind chills will feel much colder than that. Full forecast on the way here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, a former Harlan County High School JROTC instructor is facing charges this morning after allegations surfaced that he sexually assaulted a student. In March, Social Services received a report that Daniel Tuttle allegedly sexually assaulted a teenage girl. An arrest warrant was issued on January 8th, and Tuttle surrendered to police Monday. Harlan County School Superintendent Brent Roark says they take allegations like this seriously and want all students to feel safe.
Unfortunately, these allegations sometimes come up, and that's something we have to address immediately when they do.
Kentucky State Police say Tuttle surrendered to them at the Harlan County Detention Center yesterday morning. Tuttle worked at the school from 2016 to 2018. He was let go shortly after school officials learned about the allegation. Now, police say videos and tips led them to 2 teens investigators believe threw a rock through a Central Kentucky deputy's windshield. Those teens now face charges including assault. The sheriff says the deputy was responding to reports of someone throwing rocks from a bridge near Lexington Street in Bull County this weekend. His cruiser was hit in the process. The deputy crashed and the car flipped. We are told he only received minor injuries. A man is dead after falling at work. Crews were called to thoroughbred houseboats off Highway 90 in Wayne County Monday morning. The coroner tells us 55-year-old John Tucker died at the hospital. We are told the man's body will be sent to Frankfort for an autopsy. Well, in economic news this morning, hundreds of people will be laid off in northeastern Kentucky. The AK Steel plant in Ashland, which went idle back in 2015, will officially close its doors at the end of the year. Mayor Steve Gilmore says this will directly impact about 200 people. The company has been able to relocate around 170 people over the last few years since the plant stopped work. The hope is the remaining 200 employees will be relocated. They will also be offered severance packages. Now over to West Virginia, where educators are not happy about a bill that is currently making its way through the state's legislature. The 144-page education omnibus bill which includes everything from increasing teacher salaries to education overhauls and charter schools, skipped the committee process Monday and went straight to the full Senate. Teachers say they do not believe the all-or-nothing approach is fair.
The Senate leadership is using this bill as a way to exact revenge for the actions of our educators this past spring. Sadly, it appears it is more important for them to get revenge than to follow their own legislative process and to work to improve our schools.
Now, Senate President Mitch Carmichael says this bill is not about revenge, but moving up in national rankings. Well, teachers from across West Virginia, including those in Mingo County, are already planning for another potential work stoppage like they had last year. Brandon Wolford, president of the Mingo County, West Virginia Education Association, said by phone Monday night that it is not clear when members will vote to authorize the work stoppage or when the work stoppage would actually happen. Switching gears at 5:36 now, a measles outbreak has sparked a state of emergency in Washington state. Meredith Wood has the latest.
My biggest concern is the numbers increase, that we lose a child to this disease, and something that is completely, utterly preventable.
The state of Washington has a public health crisis on its hands. There have been at least 35 confirmed cases of measles, prompting Governor Jay Inslee to send out a warning in an emergency declaration saying, quote, "The measles outbreak and its effects impact the life and health of our people, as well as the economy of Washington state." 34 of the 35 cases are in Clark County, and that's just across the river from Portland, Oregon. And at least 30 of the infections are people who haven't had the measles vaccination, most of them children between the ages of 1 and 10. Doctors say what's most shocking is that measles was declared eliminated from the U.S. in 2000. And now that some people aren't getting the vaccine, it's become a major health issue.
People should get this vaccine at, early on, 12 to 15 months, and then again 4 to 6 years. That's so that they're fully vaccinated by the time they get to kindergarten.
Health officials warn that this could be just the beginning of this outbreak.
We keep on adding to those exposure sites. We're likely to see more cases into February.
I'm Meredith Wood reporting.
Now back here at home, police say they are seeing alarming numbers of break-ins and burglaries. Now, as WYMT's Justin Case reports, officers are gathering community members in Laurel County to help them keep a watchful eye on their neighborhoods.
Kathy Jones says home break-ins are more common than she cares to admit.
The first time, it was right before Christmas, and they came in and went through all my Christmas presents and did steal a gift that we had bought for my mother-in-law.
The second break-in, she says thieves stole guns she and her husband had stored inside. She, along with many here who have experienced that, say those moments take away your peace.
We felt very violated, because somebody came in our house that we didn't invite them in and just came in and looked around and did whatever they wanted to do.
You pick out some roads and some times, and you vary those times.
The purpose of these meetings, police say, is to make people more aware of things that don't seem right, like an unusual car or person on your street you've never seen before.
60%, over half the crimes are solved with somebody that sees something or can identify something.
Sheets were handed out at the meeting with what to look for when describing a suspicious person or car. These kinds of tools are what led deputies to 2 suspects on the run 3 weeks ago.
They gave us names. Matter of fact, they even told us where the one individual we was looking for was at a place of business here near. And we went in and the subject had arrest warrants on him.
Whether it is securing your home with locks and lights or taking turns with neighbors driving up and down the streets, these are strategies police say keep people safe.
We just want to feel safe in our own house.
Protecting homes and property by choosing to be more vigilant.
Now, Gilbert Chardo of the Sheriff's Office led the meeting. He says for anyone who owns firearms, make a list of all the serial numbers and keep that somewhere safe in case your home is ever broken into and the guns are stolen. He says that could prevent future crimes from happening. So right ahead on Mountain News this morning, the good old boys of Hazard County gathered in Nashville this weekend to celebrate a big anniversary.
The big game is right around the corner, and that means be armed with all sorts of munchies. Well, today we've got one that combines 2 of our favorites.
Take it easy on the roads this morning. If you have to be out and about early, I'll have the forecast for the rest of your day in about 2 minutes.